We are live.
We are back. We are here. JT, what's the word, JT? JT and LAG. What's the word, JT?
No
Cap
back
news
with it.
recap, everybody.
Yeah. You want to, everybody out there watching,
Take
you
it
want
from
to
the
like, comment, subscribe, share the video out before we get started. I'll give you a second to do that. Now that you've done that, let's get into the first story.
You said you give them a second to do that. Now that they've done it. All right. Welcome to No Cap News Recap. We are live. We are giving you recaps of No Cap News. All right. Our first little clip that we got is Trump. All right. So Trump he's going to be our president for the next 4 years. So we can't step away from that. Only thing we could do is just hope and pray and give you the updates to let you know how you
with them.
Whichever comes first. We just gonna let you know what's next, what's coming up next, what's coming up after that, so you can plan accordingly. So check out the first clip.
Now to that late afternoon notice from the Trump administration to revoke the legal status of potentially more than 500,000 immigrants currently living in the United States. This as we are learning more about the Venezuelans deported under the 18th century wartime law. I'm joined now by immigration reporter Camila Montoya Galvez to help us unravel all of this. First of all, Camila, let's start with 500,000. Remind us again what that program was supposed to do.
The Trump administration, John, is moving aggressively to dismantle President Biden's immigration legacy, and they are now in the process of terminating a process known as CH&V that was set up by the previous administration as a way to reduce illegal immigration at the U.S.-Mexico border by offering would-be migrants a legal and safe way to come here without the use of a smuggler and without the use of illegal entries into the U.S. About 500,000 people from Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, and Nicaragua entered the U.S. under that process, which required American sponsorships from people who were citizens or legal permanent residents here. And in the next 30 days, their work permits and deportation protections will be lapsed and terminated by the Department of Homeland Security, which is warning that if these people do not voluntarily depart the country, John, they will be found, arrested, and deported from the country. In fact, the administration is saying that the people affected by this policy change should sign up to self-register on a smartphone app provided by the government and tell people that they will be departing the country.
Okay, tough to...
That was a lot. The only thing that registered to me was when he said they don't have to work with the smugglers anymore. So basically, they just cut out the middleman. Whoever was getting that check is gone. That's all I heard. You don't have to deal with the smugglers anymore, right? That's what the program was for. Now they want you to voluntarily check in within 30 days and let them know when you are leaving this country. What's wrong with Trump and his administration? Like, why would I do that? Why would I notify you all that I'm voluntarily going to leave the country when y'all let me in? Why would I do that? And what's the purpose? They're here already. What's the purpose of kicking someone out that is here? If you want them to, pay a fee or something, say that. But to just remove them for what? I don't understand that. I'm lost. I just know he cutting out the middleman. The coyotes is not going to get their money anymore. And see what happens when you go through legal channels? That's why people come here illegally, because you get tracked when you go through legal channels. There's a paper trail. They had used a coyote. They be good now. What's your take? Because that's all I heard.
It really didn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know. Like, I heard about the whole gold card thing where, you pay $5 million and, you get a pathway to citizenship or something like that for, the uber rich.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to make of this.
Well, he can do the same thing. He can reduce the cost of that gold card to the people that are already here and say, okay, we will give you 1 year an agreement and you can pay down this gold card and get your citizenship. Why not?
Or you could, self-deport and save yourself from going to Guantanamo Bay, I guess.
No, I'm not doing that. They have to catch me. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's why people come here.
You said they'd have to catch you, like, so you don't have papers?
No, what I'm saying is that I'm not going to self-report my departure date. Like, I'm here now. We're not doing that. I'm not reneging on coming into the country. I'm getting myself set up, and you want to tell me to use a government issue smartphone to let you know when I'm leaving voluntarily? Where we do that at? Since when do people volunteer and turn themselves in? That's not how this country works. He got 36 felonies. Did he turn himself in? No, I wouldn't. They would have to find me. They would have to catch me. I would just be, I'm a hustler, so I'll be, living under the radar, just trying to survive every day. It's a hustle in this country. There's always something that you could do. But I'm not gonna voluntarily turn myself in, and y'all let me come here. I done close down shop wherever I was. I'm going back to nothing. I don't agree with that. I think Trump is still doing too much. He's going to continue to do too much. And, political, it's all political, but whoever voted for him, this is what you voted for. We're human beings at the end of the day. Yeah, I know there's laws and things set up. There's foreign policy. But the people are already here. If you want to stop it for new people coming in, then yeah, you can handle it that way. But just tell people they got to go back to where they came from and they shut things down. And we can't do that, man. The president is representing the country, and people don't look at it that, America, like it's connected. I just don't agree. I don't agree with it. But like I said, they will have to find me because I wouldn't voluntarily provide no departure date at all. So thanks again, Trump, for everything you're doing. Yep. You don't have nothing to say about it?
The Democrats are going to, the Republicans are going to clip that. Thank you, Trump, for all that you're doing. And you're going to be in commercials.
Okay, but my IG is there. The Cash App is there. So they'll be able to give us a couple of dollars for something. I'll put you on. I'll give you something. If they clip it, we good. They're going to come to the No Cap News recap. They're going to be like, what is she talking about? Let me look her up. And we're going to be good. Viewership is going to go up. Then we're going to get some sponsorship. So see, it's going to work out. Speaking of that, if you want to connect with us and do some business, hit us up. Let us know. All right, we'll work together. Let's collaborate. Anybody that's out there speaking it into the universe. All right, let's get into this next clip.
We'll promote the hell out of whatever the hell you have.
Yes, No Cap News recap and promotion. That's the name of it. No Cap News recap and promotion. That's it. All right, let me get.
So you were talking about over the border. So what is just I guess as far south as you can go for the border.
South of the border. Let's hit up Florida, see what they're talking about.
Residents born and raised in between Northwest 62nd Terrace and Northwest 71st Street finding out Wednesday their street name is changing.
I don't bother me.
That's cool. That's cool.
Why do you think it's a good thing?
Because they're naming them after people that grew up in this area.
And there's a list of streets that will be changed to rapper names. Take Northwest 19th Avenue and Northwest 63rd Street, soon to be City Girls Street.
We the best music.
And we are walking on what will soon be known as We the Best Terrace, now known as Northwest 68th Terrace. More than 24 other streets are also part of the plan. Pushed by Commissioner Keon Hardiman, the plan originally received pushback partially for the appropriateness of the words. But Commissioner Hardiman shares this was all in an effort to highlight an area that's typically overshadowed.
It's too long that we have to sit in squalor and in pain and in the conditions that these neighborhoods are sitting in without trying something dramatic to actually change the neighborhood.
What the hell was he talking about? We've been sitting in squalor so long that changing the street name sign is going to change all of that. And I'm against it. They said that the street names are appropriate. It's We the Best. Like, it should be We Are the Best.
He's trying to change the narrative of Pork and Bean City. They're trying to change the narrative of the area. One thing I do know is that changing the names of those streets will help me get around a little bit better. You see how he said Northwest 19th intersects with like Northwest 63rd? Whenever I go to Miami, I can never find my way. The only way I know is by like landmarks, like a store or the mall or a restaurant, anything like that is how I move around. You know, a lot of my family is in Florida, and Miami is just like northwest corner. That part, if you give me the name of the street, I'll be able to find it. But I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't think they're going to actually change the name. You know how it's here in New York where they'll add the person's name underneath the original name of the street? I think he's trying to inspire the youth and saying that you come from this area. Maybe they'll do a complete rollout. That's just a sound bite. Maybe they'll do a complete rollout where they're like, hey, listen, invite some of the celebrities. They'll do a whole rollout with City Girl, with all the people that they've named, and have the kids come out, being that they're the next generation. Like, they interviewed people that didn't really seem excited about it anyway. So the people that they asked, like, hey, are you all right with it? They didn't seem to.
They were all 50 plus.
Proud. No, the one chick with the bonnet was younger, but she looked like she didn't connect to it either. But if you bring the youth out and have them connect with these celebrities, maybe that would change the narrative to let these kids know that I come from this area where city girls grew up. So he's trying to do something drastic. I'm
like, if you have a residence, if you're a celebrity and you have a residence in Florida, and if you don't live on that street, they shouldn't name the street after you. Because how are you going to have a street named after you, but you won't even live on said street? So,
well, and if they clean up said street, then maybe the person would invest and live on said street. You got to clean up the street first.
Yeah, clean up the street and then name it after somebody.
You know how many players don't keep trying to. Well, it's not that easy. Sometimes, you know, you have to get into the mindset of people sometimes. And the kids are the easiest ways to do that. I mean, look at Rick Ross, where he was going back and forth with the rapper saying, you know, I provide for my city. We give out turkeys. We give out bikes every year. What's the rapper's name? He has like the dreads and he puts them up in a bonnet. I mean, not in a bonnet, but he wraps them up. And Rick Ross called it a basket. I forgot his name, but he said to Rick Ross that you're providing turkeys and bikes because you still putting pollution into the neighborhood. So you owe them that. So maybe this is something that could change the narrative of Florida. Shout out to Florida. They need to name a street after Florida. That'd be good. That'd be a good one. That would be him.
It would just be Florida Street.
No, we would say Florida. I say we because I'm from Florida. My family's like holding it down like this. So whenever I go back to small country, it's very tropical, warm most of the year. I think they would pronounce it correctly, Florida Street. I think they would do good with that. But I mean, shout out to him for trying. I mean, look what Trump is doing. Trump is doing drastic things, and he's hurting people. So maybe this is a move in the right direction, is more positive. So shout out to him, and it'll help me move around, because I'll be like, oh, I'm on City Girl Street. Okay, I know where I'm at. That's it. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you know, speaking of Floridians and, you know, the stuff that Florida men do, you know, let's get into this next story.
How do you know they're from Florida?
I don't. I'm just saying that this is Florida type activity.
That's not cool. We're gonna lose viewership for that comment. Okay.
Florida knows that
what Florida
they
does.
do. Yeah, like there's websites and stuff dedicated to Florida man stories. Like, it's, you know, Florida does it like nowhere else.
All right. Okay. I'm standing up for Florida. Floridians don't do everything crazy. But let's get into this story, all right? Because, you know, I'm sensitive about Florida, just so you know. I'm very sensitive. Very, very sensitive about Florida. You don't play the I play it. I play this next.
I've been dating him since 2015. I met him when he was 21. 21? And we had our first kid like a year after 2016. And we had another kid in 2017.
Wait for it.
And I just recently found out that this was my son that I gave up for adoption.
What did you say?
I just recently found out that this was my son that I gave up for adoption.
Huh? Let me just grab my stuff off the bus.
So, I know this is a No Cap News recap show. I get a sense that was capping.
So you don't think that could happen, or has happened, or
it can happen. I'm just not convinced with their delivery and the energy and the way he was looking at her when she was reporting the news, this information to the world. Like, she met him at age 21, 2015. A year later, they had one kid. Then they had another kid. He's 21. Does he not look like the father? Because, God damn it, he doesn't look like her. Does he not look like the father? Help me out here.
Maybe she has a type.
But does he not look like the father that she was dealing with at that time? Like,
but I'm saying if he does, then she has a type.
No, I'm saying like you could look at somebody and be like, that could be your father, like that close. Like, he has no features from her at all. I mean, he could probably look like her mom or her dad. It's possible, but usually the closest genes you would get are from your parents. And I'm curious. I'm curious to know. I got questions. How old is she? He's 21. So she got a typo, right? 21. What job? What finances? You right. She got a type. So should they break up or not break up? What are we doing with this?
Oh, hell yeah. They should break up.
Why?
They should break up, join a monastery, and never be tempted by the flesh ever again.
So we reported the last story of the guy that got the mother and the daughter pregnant, and we created a mapping that the kids would be siblings, right? Both ways. So because it's her son, they should not do this. And then we covered the other story with the brother and sister that put a post up and decided they was going to stay together. I think
you're making this show sound like it's the incest news recap.
Hey, I didn't know where this story came from. You found it. You found this one. You found the one about the brother and the sister. So what are you telling me here? I didn't come up with that one. That was you. The last two was you.
This is stuff that I saw on the timeline.
You got something you want to? Do you got something you want to tell me, JT? Is there something that you would like to share with me?
There's absolutely nothing, because this is just stories that I saw during research. That is it.
Okay, I'm just saying they're very, very familiar stories. If you want to change the concept of the show, let me know. We could do a Steve Wilkos or Jerry Springer. We could recap like these stories. I get it. They're strange, but I mean, we could find 1,001 stories and poke holes in it. But I think that they should continue on.
What?
I think that they should continue on. They have kids already. It's done already. It's already done.
Them having kids created a broken home already. Like grandma is mom and all type. No, like
listen,
you just need to throw like when they say throw the baby out with the bathwater, throw the baby out and the whole family.
No, they should just continue on. It's done already. It's done. You can't take it back. You can't just drop the candy on the floor, wash it off, and eat it. Like it's done already. Let them continue on and just enrich the kids' lives. Like now they have a duty. I mean, DNA testing was available in 2015 when they met. DNA testing is almost like credit scores. Hey, what's your credit score? When you meet a person, you want to know what their financial situation is like.
So like back in the day when hey, let's go and get a STD test before we're intimate. Now it's going to be, let's get a DNA test before we are?
Apparently so. Apparently so, because they would have matched up. He would have had half of her DNA.
You said apparently so. Is that pun intended?
Apparently so. He would have had half of her DNA. The profile would have told him, this is your mother. It's simple. It's available. The technology is here now. It's not going anywhere. AI is not going anywhere. You have to use these things. These things are tools. Use them. Credit scores, reports, criminal records. You want to know. We want to know. We got questions. We want to know. I want to know your background.
The government was giving out free COVID tests, so now they're going to be giving out free DNA tests so that to lower the incest rates.
Well, it's not going to lower it because people who live that life really live that life. Like I have a family member that is the case like today, right now. So people are going to live that life. That's not going to lower it. It's going to help the people that is going to use it as a tool to say, I have a lot of family out there. I don't know who they are. And I don't want to meet a person on the wrong terms of this and find out they're a first cousin, a second cousin, a third cousin. Like my grandfather had a son that was living right across the water in New Jersey for years. And I didn't know I had an uncle over there. Didn't meet him until I hit south of the border. So these things come up. You could be driving through a city or a town running, like in Florida. I have so many relatives. I'm very careful when I go back. Most of my family is in Florida on my mom and my dad's side. So when I go there, I'm very careful about how I interact with people. There are people that come up to me randomly and they will say, I know your dad. You look just like your father, or you look just like your mother. I know your mother. I know who your mother is. And that's in smaller cities. Brooklyn, it's almost like impossible for you to run into somebody unless, but I think the DNA is going to help the people that want to know. For the ones that don't care, like that couple, you think they're going to break up? They're not going to break up. They would have did it privately if they were going to break up. They put it out there.
I think the government needs to get a restraining order against that relationship. All right. Like
Stop that. Listen, when you got a lot of family and you don't know them, you really should be taking DNA test. If you don't know who your father is, you wasn't raised around your father, you lost contact with your father, usually, fathers carry on their relationships, in other places and make kids. It's a tool. Let's just say that it's a tool, and good luck to them. I don't think they should.
No, forget about. Just date in your own age range, and you won't have these type of problems. All right.
That's not true. That couple that we just talked about last week, they were siblings, and everyone was like, "Y'all seem to be related. Y'all look alike. Y'all act alike." That's not true. We just covered that story. DNA tests, credit checks, criminal backgrounds, credit scores. Bam, there you go. That's
Speaking of background and criminal checks, right? Let's get into this. Let's change the subject and get into this next story.
The most recent victims are even younger than the previous victims, some of them students here at John R. Wood Middle School. And according to court filings, some of the alleged sexual abuse happened while Fortenberry was a substitute teacher in the Martinsville School District.
The latest victim came forward after Fortenberry's case got significant media attention at the end of February. At the time, the original victim, a high school student, told police Fortenberry had sexual relations with him and at least 5, maybe 10 other students. One of them came forward and in new charging documents filed this week, told investigators Fortenberry gave the boy shrooms that made him feel funny, saying she would wait about an hour before grabbing their arms and sexually touching herself with them. The 14-year-old victim went on to tell investigators that Brittany made him watch while she had sex with his friends and that she would pleasure herself using his school pictures. The boy also recounted a specific encounter at Fortenberry's home, where Fortenberry made them wear masks from the horror film Scream, and they proceeded to take turns having sex with her for the next 2 hours.
It is difficult for kids to talk about these kind of things.
Jeff Whitman with Prevent Child Abuse Indiana says it's not unusual for kids to delay reporting abuse. He encourages parents to have conversations with their kids and be involved in where they are and who they're with.
Most abuse occurs at the hands of people known by the children or family. I would like to believe we can trust people, but I also know that people are human and they make mistakes at times.
Fortenberry was also facing charges after police say she sent sexual videos to students at Eminence High School. Her husband also charged with intimidation and failing to make a report. The mother of one victim told police Nicholas Fortenberry knew about things and threatened to slaughter the victim in front of her if he came forward and reported the abuse.
Prosecutors are asking to increase Fortenberry's bond. The judge said they will take up that issue at her arraignment on these new charges in early April. In Martinsville, I'm Max Lewis, Fox 59 News.
That takes role playing to a different level. I saw her mugshot, and I was like, why wasn't, instead of her having the kids wear the ghost face mask, she should have probably been the one.
She should have worn the mask. That's sick. She needs to get.
And I'm like, she's a substitute teacher. This ain't even the permanent teacher. So I'm like, you're not even doing this for like a real good grade or anything.
Nah, I mean, no, the substitute teachers, they work alongside the permanent teacher in the classroom. They still have to grade the work. If like a teacher's out, sick, medical leave or whatever, they still have to do the class. They have the same expectations. They just sub.
No, a sub isn't like, oh man, if I'm not good with the substitute teacher, I'm gonna repeat this grade or I gotta go to summer school. Like I wouldn't be worried about that with the substitute teacher. So I'm like, I don't know, like if judging how she looks and her husband, like they were on mushrooms and all that types of stuff. What did these kids look like that she's like, hey, put on this mask before we do stuff?
She's a freak. Like, come on, she's a freak. Come on, she's having sex with students, with kids. Come on now. And she has a husband. Come on. He was a part of it too. He's probably watching in the next room through a peephole, and they got their whole situation going on. And they might have been recording these kids, selling porno. Like they got a whole situation for the husband to threaten one of the victims, saying he would slash her throat. Like, come on, they had a whole operation going on. This wasn't a random act of minor sex. They had a whole operation. I guarantee you, if they investigate this further, They were part of a much larger scheme or something. 2 hours running a train. What he said, they will have sex with her for 2 hours. All the students, 5 to 10 students for 2 hours. Somebody's paying. That's an OnlyFans page. Somebody's paying to watch that.
No, that's a Diddy party.
Somebody's paying. I'm convinced. Yo, that's baby oil. That's a lot of baby oil and cameras. Guaranteed. This is the No Cap News recap, and that is no cap. I guarantee you they had a bigger hustle going on that the husband knew about it.
You couldn't see her. You couldn't see her hands in the mugshot. I'm sure she had white nail polish on.
What is white nail polish about?
That was a part of the whole Diddy story. You know, he likes his women to have white nail polish on.
Oh, get out. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's crazy. Well, listen, all I can say is they had a hustle going on. I guarantee if they investigate this, they probably was videotaping this and putting it on a private live stream for people to pay or do something. Come on, 2 hours with students. Come on now. That's crazy. Well, teachers can be reliable in some ways, and in other ways they cannot.
Yeah. So I'm like this next story, you know, maybe this principal should be a little bit more lenient on her students, knowing that there's teachers like this out there.
Hey, can I get some bathroom?
Hi, Anthony. Are you unaware that your principals also have social media? You know what? I'm not even going to blame you because you're not the one who posted this. Your best friend did. And guess where it ended up? On my For You page. First of all, pull your pants up. I tell you every day, no one wants to see your underwear. Secondly, when you ask to go to the restroom, you need to go straight there and head right on back to class. You went and you used someone else's lunch number. Yeah, you didn't think I would notice. You used someone else's lunch number in order to get 2 lunches, and that student didn't get to have lunch that day. That is completely unacceptable. And lastly, I saw that Omar and Brandon were also on their phones. So guess what? All 3 of you will receive a pass to my office tomorrow. And one more thing, Mr. Cook, how did you not notice that your student was out of class for 30 minutes? You too will receive a pass to my office tomorrow.
Mr. Cook is cooked.
I really felt that, like, yeah, having had been a teacher. So, like, yeah, I sympathize more with the teacher than the student, like, being in trouble. But, yeah, all right.
Mr. Cook is cooked. And that's a teacher that cares. When, you know, you got the teachers that want to have the sex scandals, but let's give her flowers because she's checking everybody. She didn't just hold the students accountable. She held the teacher accountable. She said, how did you not know that they were missing? You get a pass too. You get a pass. You get a pass. You get a pass. You get a pass. That's it. And that should let students know that social media, everyone has it. So whatever you do, whatever you post, nothing is private anymore. This is a generation of everything is public and out there for you. So you're telling on yourself, self-incrimination. And she's like,
Did you see these shenanigans to music in the video? Like, he actually like directed it and made it, you know, like it wasn't just a point and shoot. He actually said, hey, let me edit this and put music under it.
Listen, he's trying to get on TikTok, get his views up, and get some money. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, if you have a principal like that, then, you know, you might end up with, having a student like this.
A 13-year-old Metro Atlanta boy is celebrating his birthday in a very cool way. He is celebrating by getting accepted into his dream school.
Let's just run that back. 13 years old.
Yeah.
13 years old. Joshua Smith got an acceptance letter into the Morehouse College. 13 years old. There he is right there. Joshua, he's a student at Hills Academy in Conyers. The extraordinary accomplishment for the scholar has been years in the making. So he skipped multiple grades starting in elementary school. Right now, he is dual enrolled at Augusta Technical College, where he already has completed 27 credit hours. And Joshua has gotten acceptance letters from 20 other schools. But for now, he plans to defer his enrollment for 1 year to complete high school. Did I tell you that he's 13 years old? When he gets to Morehouse, he plans to study international relations. A big congratulations to Joshua.
Well, we know where he was not. He was not with the teacher with the screen mask. He was handling his business, 13 years old, not thinking about sex and shrooms and none of that stuff. But, you know, I think that he probably had people in his life that care about him and kept him on the right path and know where he's at all times. You got kids that be places and parents don't even know where they are for hours. So that's a good thing. 13-year-old college student. That's great. And he's Black, person of color. I love it. See, it's a positive that come out of these stories. I know it sounds scary. Parents send their kids to school expecting for them to learn. They don't all turn out to be scholars, but there's some diamond in the roughs. You know, some make it out. And he's enrolled in 2 colleges. I like that story.
As
13.
far,
Oof.
I must say that seeing the picture of him, my first question was, it is hot as hell in Georgia. And how does the humidity, like, how does he keep the fro going in all that humidity like that?
It stays human because of the humidity. The afro stays lit. Natural hair is a thing in Georgia. What are you talking about? You got questions, huh? Listen, afros stay lit in the South. You will get an afro. If you are a guy and you don't cut your hair within a reasonable time that you usually get it cut, and you're not looking to get an afro, you will start to develop a small afro. The heat is real. But
I'm saying to have one and to keep it in the South as hot as it is down there, I'm like, it's like you're wearing it. It's like you have a turban on your head, but it's made of hair.
He don't feel it. He's used to it. Remember, every place has AC. Like AC is in high demand. Like the buildings in the southern states feel like the AC is down to like 40 degrees everywhere. Like he's good. Let's just congratulate him. All right.
I will congratulate him.
Don't worry about it.
I will congratulate him. And it is, the end of March, tax season. If he wants to do my taxes, he's more than welcome.
If he wants to do your taxes, 13. Listen, I was in college at 16. I thought that was kind of early. 13 is earlier. That is early.
Oh,
Man.
so you,
all right.
Okay. So you,
what were you gonna?
Okay, you want to talk about you being in college, 16? All right, let's take it there. You want to do the reading for this segment?
I don't have the reading for that segment.
Well, yeah, they say that a new study shows Black.
Go ahead, you gonna read it?
Yeah. Black women are among the most educated groups in the United States.
I wonder where they got the data from. I don't dispute that. I just wonder where they get the data from. Where did they get it from?
Well, there's more details here. The employment gap. Women earn degrees, but still
get paid less.
8% of private sector jobs. Okay. Setting the pays. Black women enrolled in college at higher rates than any other demographic, including white women, Asian women, and white men.
Okay. I like that data.
Dominating degrees.
Okay.
So we're talking about 68% of associates, 66% of bachelors, 71% of masters, and 61% of doctoral degrees.
I like that 61% number. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
There's no 60.
You said 61% of doctorates, right?
No, that's 65%.
Okay, 65%. I like that. It's not easy going to college. It's not easy. And it's definitely not easy when you come from education is not promoted in the household or within your family group. So for people that do go to college, you just sometimes assume that they will automatically groomed for college, but that's not the case. So when people they're in college, or even people that go back to college, years later after having careers, it's not easy. The mindset to go to college is not easy. It's not easy at all. So congratulations to whoever did that study. I like that information, promoting Blackness, queens of Blackness. I like that.
Okay, so I guess
all right, but okay,
queens.
So you got the educated women, and then you got the not. You got some fools out here too. Now you got some Black women that are fools acting up. You got the smart ones and not so smart ones.
But it's the first day. What do you mean? You the one invited me over for. You invited me over for dinner.
I may have invited you over for dinner, but
so
I invited.
We're in a grocery store.
So what?
So I walk off for you. I'm gonna pay for none of these. I'm not doing it.
You're not gonna walk off on me either.
I'm not gonna pay. What do you mean? You invited me over for groceries. You invited me.
I invited you over for dinner. So if I'm cooking dinner, then you're buying.
You recording in a grocery store?
Yes, I'm recording in a grocery store. I'm recording.
You got the line behind you. You have your line behind you. So you holding up the line. I mean,
you're holding up the line because you're not paying. Pay for this.
I'm not paying for that.
You invited me. You are embarrassing me. Pay for this.
You invited me to your house for dinner. You invited me to your house.
So you mean to tell me you're not paying for this? You know what? I tell you what. I'll pay for this. I'll pay for this, and then you gonna take me home, and you gonna just go home.
I don't care. I just have to go home because I'm not paying for it.
Right. So I'm.
So let's hear you stick up for her.
So what do you? I got questions. I'm trying to process why she feels like he should. I heard her message. She says, I invited you for dinner and you should be paying for the food so she could cook the dinner. I don't know how he got to the grocery store. Okay, I guess he got to the grocery store because she said, let's go to the grocery store. I need to get some groceries. I think she just assumed that he was going to pay for it. And he's saying that I'm not going to pay for it. I think there was a miscommunication. I think that they should have had a conversation before they came to the store. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that because she invited him to dinner that he should pay for the groceries. I think if you invite someone to something, it's on you to arrange it and set it up, whether you're the man or the woman. If I invite you out to lunch, I'm willing to pay for lunch. If you offer to split it with me or pay for the tip, that's fine. But I'm offering to hang out with you. So she automatically thought that she asked him over for dinner that he should have paid for. I don't agree with her. So I'm not defending it. I don't agree with her. And he said, I'll walk off on you. He stood up for himself. I just think that this is their first date. So how many conversations did they have before this date where she could have gotten a sense that he either spends money or don't spend money? But my senses tell me that they might have had a sexual encounter when he went to her house, and then they went to the grocery store afterwards, and she assumed that he was going to pay for the food. That's just my sense with her energy. And she's like, embarrassing me, you know, demanding that he buy the food on the first date. That's a bit extreme. Unless you already put out.
I beg to differ. I think that because the way she was like, I'm gonna go home and then you're gonna go home. It was like she was withholding something from him. If he's already got it, yeah, I'll go home. I'm like, she was wrong to me when she said, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna pay for this. I was like, tell me I can't go anywhere.
He said, I'll walk out on you. I'm okay with that. I'm not defending her. Like, you can't tell another grown-up where they're going and how they're spending their money. If this is y'all first date and you know this is the style and how you want things done, then she should have had a conversation with him.
And I'm like, you notice she didn't show the groceries, because I'm like, all these groceries are just the groceries for cooking dinner, or some of these are just for dinner and the rest of it is
it's for the house. Yeah. It's for her and her grown ass son that comes through. That's how you say. I'm not, yo, this is a $300. Yo, eggs are already $12, $13, right? We'll get into that. Eggs are already $13, and she got eggs there. That's already $13, $14 plus other things. I'm sure she had stuff to cover when he's not there after he leaves.
I'm like, all right, so if there's eggs on that conveyor belt,
she
like,
picked up stuff.
Nah, you're not cooking dinner with eggs. You're not having breakfast for dinner. I'm like, unless we having the eggs in the morning. But I'm like, are you baking a cake? Am I gonna sit there and wait for you to bake a cake or something? Like, what?
Nah, she was. He might have been. You know, we got questions, but he might have been like, I'm not paying for this. Like, this is a lot for a dinner for two. I got a feeling she was trying to flood the refrigerator, or they might have had a sexual encounter when he got to the house, and she assumed that after that, they was gonna go get some groceries. We don't know, but I'm just saying. But you can't tell a grown-up what to do. No man, no woman, you can't tell them what to do. And you can't be like, you're embarrassing me. That's the wrong way to handle it. She handled it wrong. And he let her know, yo, you're going to have to put this back and I'm walking out. So I don't defend her at all. She misrepresenting us. That's why we got to give it up to the chicks that's in college. You know, the ones that using their brain or something, because that didn't make sense to me. But she might have been raised like that. That's the way she likes to date. But she needs to clear that up.
Yeah, I'm like, there are women out there that think that believe and practice chivalry like it's a religion, and women's lib has killed that.
Yeah, but tell him that. Tell him that. You could tell him, yo, this is what I do, but don't pull up to the grocery store and fill up the cart and get online and expect for him to open his wallet. Don't do it that way, because you will be embarrassed. There are men out there that don't play. They will leave you in the grocery store, or they'll pay for it and never call you again, completely block you just to prove a point. So, maybe she wasn't checking for him like that, and maybe just wanted groceries. Who knows? He was a nice looking guy. She was attractive. They were both attractive, in my opinion. So, but these groceries got everybody on edge anyway. So let's get into the next one.
Bye.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
By now, we've all seen the prices. Sticker shock when paying for eggs. How much are you paying for eggs right now?
$12.99.
Have you ever paid this much?
No, and I never will. Again. It's horrible.
But at Pamela's Green Deli in the Bronx, the owner's trying to help out his customers. If you can't pay $10.99 for a carton, how does $2.99 for 3 eggs sound? Radames Rodriguez is selling loose eggs, 3 eggs in a bag. He started doing this 2 weeks ago. He puts out about 5 dozen a day and says he sells out.
If you only have $20 and you're already spending $12, $11 for 1 dozen eggs, then what's going to happen with the rest of the stuff, like bread, oil, milk, and things like that?
Rodriguez has been in business for 40 years and says he has never seen the price of eggs this high. Selling loose eggs like this, he says, was a no-brainer. This is how they sell them back at home in the Dominican Republic.
Seeing the people when they see the price and the eggs, and sometimes they leave the eggs because it's too expensive. So I call my partner and I told him, listen, why can't we not do it, the same thing I used to do in my country, selling loose eggs.
I like that.
There needs
like
to be
that
some sort of
idea.
efficacy within that, because I'm like, all right, he might be upstanding and whatnot. I don't know. He's from the Bronx, but
What you trying to say? People from the Bronx have integrity issues? Is that what we saying? This is the No Cap News recap. We not doing anything other than that. Everybody's nice. Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, Manhattan. Everybody's nice.
We don't know if another bodega is selling pigeon eggs instead of chicken eggs. You could be getting ostrich eggs.
They're all different. They don't look the same, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't know a goose egg from a flamingo egg or whatever. I don't know. I'm not from a farm.
But guess what?
A chicken egg from a turkey egg? I don't know.
You know what? You got a point, but I've seen different types of eggs where you can see. I think ostrich eggs are really big, but it don't matter. If eggs is $12 and you getting 3 eggs for $3, you getting what they paying like $1, $1.50, $2 an egg. What does it matter? You want an egg, eat the egg. That's it. It's gonna cook up the same way, right? We assume. Eat the egg. Integrity. So because it's not in a box that says eggs, do eggs in a container say chicken eggs, or do they just say white eggs or brown eggs?
They just say eggs, but they came in a container. He's selling eggs in a bag. I'm like,
but
eggs in a bag. Like, how does that travel?
He did. They do it in Cuba. That's a hustle. He's like, let me flip this. People still want eggs. He's still charging a lot for eggs. He's still charging a lot. He's charging a lot for 3 eggs.
He's selling it like it's a Lucy cigarette. Like
exactly. How much is a Lucy cigarette? Is $2.
I don't know. I don't smoke, so
it's $2. Meanwhile, you could go down south to get a pack of cigarettes for $5. He got a hustle going. Egg. I don't think people care anymore what kind of egg it is. They just want an egg sandwich, egg salad, scrambled eggs, eggs and bacon. I don't think we care anymore what kind of egg it is. We don't have no options with this one.
That's
questions.
I very much care about where my eggs come from.
Well, I don't eat eggs, so unless
free, all of that, all of the non-GMO, whatever. Like, I want the,
So how much are you paying for your eggs right now?
I haven't bought eggs recently, so.
See, you don't have a valid connection to this emotionally. You're not shooken up. You're not shaken up by this. This is you're not there yet. You're not connecting with the cost of $12, $13 eggs. I got a dozen of eggs that I bought for a kid that hasn't eaten them yet. They still sit in the refrigerator, and I said I'm not buying any more. And Walmart sells them we're not promoting Walmart. They are not a sponsor of this show because we definitely boycotted them for blackout, disclaimer. But their eggs were cheaper when I did check. So, you know, I'm not in a fight with the eggs because I don't do scrambled eggs and all that. It's a meat byproduct. So I try to stay away from stuff like that. So speaking of boycotts, you know, whenever you're ready for the next clip.
Yeah, go ahead, hit the button.
Alrighty. I don't know what's going on with.
Why he got you up in here and we doing a boycott? Huh? We ain't supposed to be in here. Sis, what you doing up in here? We supposed to be boycotting. Oh, you know we ain't supposed to be up in here. You ain't here. That's what I'm talking about. I'm proud of you. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I'm proud of you. And I came to talk to us so we can think better of ourselves. Yes.
I better wait. My daughter did say that. I'm going to wait.
It's up to you, but...
No, I appreciate you holding me accountable because I know I'm not supposed to be in here.
We supposed to be boycotting because we ain't supposed to be up in here. We boycotting. We're boycotting. No, we ain't supposed to be up in here.
Why?
Did you know that?
Wait, what?
I'm talking to my sister.
Sorry.
All up in the Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor.
She said, I'm talking to my sister. But she might have been on board if she would have made, you know, gave it the information. That lady might have.
No, she was on her Malcolm X. You know, like when the girl said, "What can white people do?" He said nothing.
Listen, that woman might have been like, you know what? I'm gonna walk out too. She might have, you know, been a freedom fighter. You know what I'm saying? They was on them buses with us too. You know what I'm saying? She might have walked out. She might have walked out, but she had such an attitude like, I'm talking to my sister. I'm not talking to you. But I like the fact that she was walking through the store advocating. I would love to know, my question is, I would love to know how long they allow her to do that before they approached her in the store, because you know they're watching her on camera. She walking around talking to people and ain't buying nothing. So I would love to know how long they watched on camera, just randomly going to people and watching people put items back on the shelf. I would love to know. I know they had to ask her to leave.
Yeah, and then they said, you know, this is exactly why we cut that DAI.
Yep. She said, you know, we're not supposed to be up in here. That lady said, yeah, you're right. My daughter gonna have to wait. Because people forget. And I didn't buy anything from I didn't buy anything from Target or Walmart. Nothing. I didn't order anything. Did you? Did you black out or nah?
Not from Target. No. I ain't buy nothing from Target.
You bought something from Walmart? It couldn't wait 24 hours?
Oh, that day? Yeah, I didn't buy nothing on that day. But the other days, yeah. You know. Okay,
but that day you didn't buy anything. All right, good for you. Good for you. Yeah. All right.
I didn't buy anything from anywhere that day.
All right, good. Well, come on. Did you purposely not buy anything, though? I
purposely did not buy anything, and my bank account needs to have more blackout days because then I'll save a lot more money.
You save a lot more money. I purposely did not buy anything from any corner store. I didn't buy anything. I didn't even buy gas. I just didn't buy. I didn't spend nothing at all. I didn't spend anything for 24 hours. It was speaking of buys and buyouts and buybacks and putbacks. Here's the next story.
The Girl Scouts being sued over alleged heavy metals and pesticides in its cookies. The proposed class action lawsuit is being led by a Queens woman and was filed at federal court in Brooklyn last night. It seeks at least $5 million in damages. The suit cites a December 2024 study that tested samples of 25 cookies. Researchers say 5 heavy metals were found: aluminum, arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. And they say a pesticide was also found with Thin Mints containing 334 times more than what is commonly accepted. Now, the Girl Scouts previously commented on the study, saying any food using plant-based ingredients will have trace amounts of heavy metals, which occur naturally in soil. And they went on to say that its ingredients comply with all food safety standards, and the cookies are safe to eat.
Is that cap or no cap? What do you believe?
I think that's no cap, which means that box or that container of cookies will not be getting opened. And didn't you say you had some over there?
I think that soundbite statement makes sense, where it's saying plant-based products would have metals. But are you guys not testing it because someone else tested your product? So did you not test your own product? That's my question. Because honestly, look what I got right here, and I have not opened it. All right. You see that? You see it? You see it? I got my receipt. So this latest information has me investigating and asking questions. I got questions. I usually support them every year. Their cookies are the bomb. They only come out once a year. They're in high demand. They're a little pricey, but I feel like I'm supporting the Girl Scouts. But I have not opened them. I just got those boxes the beginning of this month, which is March, and I have not opened them yet.
I'm like, I just think it's a lot of window dressing bullshit. Because yeah,
I'm waiting.
If they really Girl Scouts, they should be baking the cookies themselves.
Because I got my boxes and I got my. I mean, a lot of things that we eat have stuff in it. And that's why you do have these consumer groups that do test things. I don't know how you could get away from free radicals. There's so many things out there. But they're saying it's like hot, what they say, the pesticides. And again, that would come from soil and whoever used whatever products they're using. So they might have to go back and do a trail on the places where they're sourcing the products to make the cookies and get this all straightened out, because they're going to lose a lot of money. A box of these cookies is like one box. This small box is like $5, $6. They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. So
and they're going to be giving up a lot of money once the lawsuits come.
They will settle. They will settle and just come up with a remedy, because you don't know what the future would be for everybody that eats these cookies, including myself. Like, everybody eats Girl Scout cookies. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So RIP to them, because I can't open those because I got to wait and see, what the word is. So, yeah. It is what it is, but
well,
that was in December.
I'm sure you'd rather break open that box of Girl Scout cookies and eat the whole box, crumbs all on your face, lick them off, everything, before you would go to this particular restaurant.
Jones says she had only been working here for about 3 weeks when she had had enough and took the video before she quit.
They got chicken in the tea. I swear to God, there's chicken in the tea. I'm not even lying.
Unsettling and unsanitary conditions inside this Popeyes. We've learned the franchise owner has fired the manager who was on duty and another employee.
How old is this grease? How old is this grease? When I filled out the application, it didn't say we had roaches, you got to kill them, you have to step on them. It didn't say that you would be in a dirty environment. It didn't say your manager was going to be calling you out your name, acting like he wasn't. It didn't say none of that type of stuff. It didn't say he had dead flies in the ice.
Today, the Popeyes on Gratiot near 7 Mile remain closed, with workers hired to tidy up outside and inside. Inspectors with the City of Detroit's Buildings and Safety Department on site to assist the Health Department as they continue their investigation. A spokesperson for the Health Department says management at this Popeyes location is fully cooperating and has agreed to voluntarily remain closed until all priority violations are in compliance.
See, they were on 7 Mile Road, if it was on 8 Mile Road, just one up, this story would have never happened. Nothing like that is gonna happen on 8 Mile Road. Nobody's gonna disrespect Eminem like that.
8 Mile Road, I think, is the street that separates the hood from the suburbs over there. Is it 7 Mile or 8 Mile that separates them in Detroit? I think it's 8 Mile. I think it's 8 Mile Road that separates the hood from that. So that's crazy. That's in the D, man. You know, shout out to the D. The D got a lot going on, from Big Meech, BMF, 50 Cent shutting it down to now they shutting down the Popeyes, man. That's crazy.
That's some real dirty D.
But you know what? She did good. She did good by reporting it. She did good. And
how the hell do you have chicken in the tea? Like you stirring the tea with the chicken? Like explain that.
How did that even, maybe the spoon for the chicken was used to stir the tea or something?
I'm like, the tea comes in like those gallon jugs. It's already like closed. Like I don't get it.
That's crazy. The roaches, like, she really did her part, man. She's a good person. She really, really had integrity, because she could have kept her job. She really, and she's young, you know, younger people, you know, they like, I don't really care. I just want to get my money. So her integrity is intact. Somebody needs to they need to hire her or give her some type of award or something. Really. She did her thing. I like that. Because she's saving lives. You know, people, you know, fast food is processed food. We know the data behind it. I'm already disappointed with my Girl Scout cookies, so I'm not going to talk about nobody else. But, you know, people are already high risk for eating fast food. And now you're going to eat fast food with roaches. And I saw, it looked like a mouse or rat was nibbling on the chicken. I think in the video, if I'm not mistaken, but she did good. She might have saved somebody's life.
I said that piece of chicken that the rat was nibbling on probably had some of that Don Julio's that you was talking about in the other episode.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. It might have been some leftover Don Julio chicken or whatever. That's crazy, man. But she did a good thing. Her integrity, she could sleep good at night. I think I might have done something like that and lost my job and look for another one. I'm not going to work in those conditions and then try to feed people this stuff, knowing, you know, I'm at the register asking you, what do you want in your order, knowing what's going on behind the scenes. That's good.
Yeah.
Bad working environment. I wonder if she could sue.
Probably. She said that, you know, the managers are calling her out of her name and all that type of stuff. That's got to be some sort of workplace harassment.
Yeah, HR, get on that. Yep. All right, shout out to her for Popeyes, and we're going to close this out with some great healthy news.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play it.
A patient on Long Island is making medical history. Doctors say he is the first in New York to be cured of sickle cell anemia. As Jennifer McLogan reports, the patient is pain-free for the first time in his life.
Sickle cell was like a blockade for me, but now it's just like a wall that I just jumped over.
For 21 years, Sebastian Bozil suffered chronic pain from debilitating sickle cell anemia. He's now making medical history in New York State.
The cliche, the future is here, is actually true in this case.
We feel blessed to be able to be the first ones to be able to offer this.
Groundbreaking Lyfgenia treatment used Sebastian's own bone marrow in IV transfusions to create normal red blood cells.
When we could use Sebastian's own stem cells to do this therapy, we were delighted.
Sickle cell disease was described in modern medicine in 1910, and here we are over 100 years later, and this is the first cure you're seeing.
To the Med4 team, the hematology team, the transplant team, you guys have really changed my life.
In the United States, sickle cell anemia most commonly affects people of African, Mediterranean, and Middle Eastern descent. Cohen Children's Hospital hopes to target those communities with this life-altering therapy.
Sebastian been coming to this hospital since he was 2 months old. There is not enough word to show you how grateful I am.
Sebastian will soon be able to travel, work out, and focus on his education. He hopes to work in the medical world.
Amazing, and I can't wait to get back to my day-to-day life because now I feel unstoppable.
From New Hyde Park, Long Island, Jennifer McLogan, CBS News, New York.
That is truly amazing, and we wish you all the best, Sebastian. By the way, today, civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump announced a $100,000 donation to Northwell to further the health system's efforts to treat sickle cell disease.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now that's how you close the show. Some great positive news. We get a donation from Crump, Attorney Crump. That's dope. That's really nice.
I still do have a question. I'm like, secure, but like, does he still have the gene to pass it on to his kids, or? You know?
That's the thing. He might. Oh, probably. Okay, so they were able to generate. No, how would he pass it on if he don't have it anymore?
It's in his DNA.
He has normal blood cells now.
He has normal blood cells now, but he still carries the trait.
He don't have the trait. He actually has full sickle cell, because two people with the trait would have a kid and their kid would have sickle cell disease.
But I'm like, if you have sickle cell, then obviously you have the trait. I'm like, you could have the trait and not have sickle cell, but if you have sickle cell,
then you have the trait. Yeah, correct. So then it doesn't alter the DNA. It just gives him normal blood cells. They don't regenerate a sickle cell at all.
Yeah.
So something had to mutate. I'm sure they tested his DNA. Why would they do all of this and not check his DNA?
No, but I'm saying like he's good, but I'm saying if he has kids, then he can still, pass.
No, but why would they do all of this and not check the DNA? They announce that he doesn't have it anymore. I would think that they would check his DNA to see if it's in his DNA. Because if you say he doesn't have it anymore, that's supposed to, in the science world, that's supposed to mean that he does not have it in his DNA. Not that it's undetectable like HIV. He can't have it if they're announcing that he doesn't have it. He can't have it in his DNA. They would have had to do testing in science because you need the data. You need, this is real-time data. So I'm wondering. That's a good question. That's a good question.
So things that make you say
What'd you say?
I said, these are just things that make you say
Yeah, I guess. So, All right. No Cap recap. Check in with us. Make sure you subscribe. Leave us a comment if you're checking in with us. We try to do this every Sunday, 5:00 p.m.
Share it out to everybody every one of your contacts in your phone. Yeah, text blast it. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right, JT. Catch you at the next
LA.
At the next one. Cash out me, please. I need to pay a bill, somebody. We looking for sponsors to support the show. It'd be really great to have someone's logo in the lower third of our live. We really would like to have a collaboration with anybody. Let's join in together. Let's make something happen, people. I like watching, stuff and they got logos, Let's get a partnership going with somebody. Check us out every Sunday, No Cap News Recap. Let us know what you think. Share it, subscribe, and we are out.